Okay, good afternoon. Good day, everyone. So we are going to continue our discussion under this chapter. So we are done with the chapter 5, employee attitudes and their effects. So we are done with these mga slides. So to continue, we'll be talking about the terms, turnover, tardiness, theft, violence, organizational citizenship. Now, we'll be talking about job satisfaction survey. So why do we need to study job satisfaction? So job satisfaction itself is a survey, a procedure by which employees report their feelings towards jobs and work environment. So this is a survey in which you as a manager, it will help you, okay, it will help you or guide you on which how will you approach your employees, how will you manage them, and what adjustments will you do, especially if there is kana bitang mga low rate sa, let's say for example, uban nga criteria sa imong survey, like this na satisfied sa compensation, sa management, sa environment, and so on and so forth. So with this job satisfaction survey, it can give you first-hand na feedback or information with regards to what they feel, what they feel towards their job itself. How satisfied are they in the job that your company um, has offered to them? So we have the benefits of job satisfaction studies. So this is a very good actually na survey in which it can help you make crucial decisions when it comes to managing your employees, making them motivated to. So the benefits, the first one, monitoring attitudes. So it can monitor their attitudes, whether, let's say, for example, in the first quarter, happy sila, kay wala pa kayo mga trabaho, wala pa kayo mga deadlines. Pagka next quarter, nangasad na sila, kay daghan kayo og turnover or daghan kayo og mga task na gihimo. Kay busy season di ay. So it can monitor their attitudes quarterly or depending on what period would you like to choose. So it could be weekly, monthly, and so on and so forth. So flow of communication on all directions is improved. So with this job satisfaction nga survey, there is flow of communication in which kapaluka how they feel, and you can address what their problems, their concerns directly to. So survey serves as a safety valve or emotional release. So sometimes these survey can give them an outlet for them to pour sa ilang mga gipambati, sa ilang mga kuan kana bitong mga kasakit di ay siguro in life, in at work, and so on and so forth. So with them, they can release their stress, their emotions when it comes to the organization itself, with regards to the organization itself. So, an emotional release or pagawasanan silang gipambati. So, diya cure sila mo bawi. Charot. Dili yung tamoy nga na, no? So, we have that one here in TMU. Faculty evaluation. Hopefully, naka-evaluate na mo. So, this is your sign to evaluate ASAP. So, yeah, it can, diha nimo ipagawas imong gibati whether you like how these instructor performs their job or not. So hopefully just be as honest as possible. So those of your concern can be um, catered, puhon. Or there is always room for improvements too for that instructor. Hopefully, but still, um, yeah, just a survey naman po siya. So next would be identification of training needs. So, with that, mabalaan pod nimo unsa ang ilahang mga kailangan, mga concerns, unsa ang need nimo i-address. Let's say for example, need ay og team building, need ay mo og um, proper communication flow or probably kanang transparency, so on and so forth. So it can also help managers plan and monitor new programs. So with that, mabantayan nimo nga na they change kakahitabo based on their how satisfied are they in their job. So it could be based on the result, based on the organizational change nga nahitabo, and so on and so forth. So those are some of its benefits of job satisfaction studies. Next would be the survey design and follow up. So major steps in a systematic approach to conducting survey. So how can we conduct a survey and to do a follow up? So these are just some of its major steps. The first one you need to identify the reason for survey. Para aha man ni, ano need man ta mag-survey, unsa ato ang survey hundi ay. Probably na aday tension, na kay na feel nga tension sa inyong office, then murag yung paminaw na ay something wrong. So nagpa-survey ka, you want to know the root of that concern or that yeah, tension. So next is obtain management commitment. You need to ask permission from the government, the administration itself, the management itself, if okay ra ba nga mag-conduct og survey. Dili ra ba mo masakitan if na may madunggan nga negative feedback or positive and so on and so forth. So as long as dapat committed po sila nga, fair po sila when it comes to um yeah, uh, when it comes to doing the survey, dapat kay walay biases mahitabo. Next would be develop survey instruments. So you need to choose what instrument will you use. Probably katong circle circle, mura bitaw mag-rate ka from 1 to 5, rate how good their service is, something like that. Or katong very likely, very likely, not so, and so on and so forth ng mga questions. What survey instrument will you use? Applicable ana nga question, which is unsa di ang tension nga nahitabo ay unsa ding reason for the tension at the office. Next would be administer survey. So you need to administer the survey for all of the uh, uh, selected participants. So hopefully tanan or majority of your employees will be part of that survey or will participate in that survey para valid pud ang data nga makolek. Lastly, I fifth would be tabulate the results. After that one, consolidate or all the results. Check if na ay mga valid or voided yung mga results. And yeah, just sum up all of the results based on the collected na survey results. Lastly, sixth would be analyze the results. After tabulating, collecting, you need to analyze the results. Unsay meaning day ani nganong mas dako ang kani area ang commitment or ang stress nga mas dako ang stress nga points or nga part kaysa sa relax. So something like that. Mas dako ang stress nga part. Stress daw sila. So what does it mean? You need to analyze the result. Probably it means nga medyo heavy na day lang workload. Kapoy na sila og trabaho. Di ba? Na-stress sila og maayo. So that is for the sixth one. Analyzing the result based on the tabulated na mga results. So seventh would be provide feedback to participants with that. So you'll know nga, okay, medyo na-stress na din everyone. What will you do? You need to provide feedback. Probably, you need to have better compensation or motivational na mga programs for them to di kay sila ay makarelease ilang stress gamay. So implement action plan. So what will you do to avoid that same tension? Probably medyo hinay-hinayan nimo sila sa ilang workload or di sila ipa-overwork. Lastly, monitor the results. So with that implemented nga action plan, you will know nga okay, probably mag-survey na pud ko again if effective ba ni nga program akong gihatag sa ila. So that is survey design and follow-up. So yan na siya ka-simple. You identify the reason nga need na mag survey, commitment sa management nga mag-conduct og survey consistently, develop the tools or instruments to use, administer, ipa-participate sila, collect collect and gather all the results, the data. After that one, analyze the data. What does it mean? Then after analyzing, after coming up with conclusions, then you need to provide feedback to participants and also implement the action plan needed in order to address the concerns. And lastly, monitor the results. So if you are consistent with your goal or with the action plan that you had implemented. So you can also administer another survey again if how satisfied are they in the new program action planning implement. Something like that. So next would be the types of survey questions. So these are just some examples lang ha sa survey questions. We have at least two types. So close-ended questions or ended questions and open-ended questions. So close-end questions are questions which directly respondent to simply select and mark the answers that best represents his or her own feelings. Close-ended, murag given na daan si option. So whether it's a yes or no, are you satisfied with your job? Yes or no? Oh, Marsha, or something like that. Or let's say, for example, uh, rate. Okay, rate how you feel with the organization. So I'm not satisfied, very satisfied, dissatisfied, and so on and so forth. So, murag giga na kada og options which one to choose. So, close-ended, wala kay lain pilion kundi katura ang gihatag sa inyo. Compared sa open-ended questions, these questions is are which employees respond in their own words to express their feelings, thoughts, and intentions. So, open-ended, kuan siya, more siyang essay. So, you can express, could vaguely express your feelings, your intention, your thoughts. Open-ended, more siyang blanker ni siya. Are you satisfied with your job? Why? Why or why not? O, di ba? Mura din siya blank na space in which pwede na kay freedom to answer anything that you want with that one. So that is the open-ended question. So just some type of simple question. Closed-ended again, na kay option. Open-ended, wala kay option, and you have the freedom to write whatever you want. We also have critical issues in survey designs. So sometimes gini siyang issues na gakaproblemahan nato sa itong mga survey. Okay, we have the first one, how reliable kaya imong mga question, how reliable is this design? Is it kanang in line with our goal, which is to know the core problem? So something like that. So reliability is the capacity of the survey instrument to produce consistent results regardless of who administers it. So you'll know nga kani nga survey is reliable kay bisag dili ikaw ang nag-conduct, kuan gid siya valid, kuan gid siya consistent with dihang result. So mura bitaw dili siya mabias nga survey. So that's the first thing you need to consider. Dapat reliable siya whether ikaw mo administer or not, as long as valid or di, walay bias mahitabo. So reliable ni siya nga survey. Well, for validity, capacity to measure what they claim to measure. So is this survey valid? Ma-measure good ba nato ani nga survey? Ay, measure good ba ani nga survey ang ato ang problem? So the capacity to measure what they claim to measure. So how good is this design? Sakto ra ba ang result? Dali ra ba siya ma-analyze? Or dili ba siya ma-misunderstood? Diretso? So how valid are they with their claim? So that's it. That's the most common issues in survey design lang, yung reliability and validity. Kung legit pa or not, and wala ba'y bias. So we can also use the survey information to use with to the following. So survey information can use as communicating the results or a survey result. So it could be used to as a form of report to the higher management, probably when it comes to crucial decision making. So reports are used for decision making, planning, and a strategic plan, so on and so forth. Next would be comparative data. You can use the information uh, with the survey. Okay, with the surveying inyong gi-perform as comparative data. Compare ninyo ang ilahang job satisfaction from the first quarter to the last quarter or something like that. At least nabito kay basis of comparison nga nagyud ay improvement, nagyud ay progress. Next would be employee comments. You'll know nga unsa day kakabati sa imong mga employee, mabalaan nimo ang ilahang suggestions, recommendations, mga pagbati, mga kasakit in life at work, yeah, something like that. Next would be committee work flow up. So follow up rather, committee work follow up. So it can also serve as a follow up to them. Okay, satisfied na ba sila sa among bag-o nga implement nga action plan? Satisfied ba sila sa akong management? I-follow up na ko sila based on my survey. Okay, na-achieve ba na tong goal or something like that. So feedbacks to employees, with that one, you can actually directly give feedback to them too. Given nga first hand ni siya nga data kay gikan mismo sa kuan imong mga empleyado. So you can really give them appropriate feedback with regards to their concern. We also have guidelines for changing employee attitudes. So how can we uh, change their attitudes to given nga okay, at least we have tools such as a survey, job satisfaction survey. So first one, let's say for example, di ba naman to tension sa tong survey nga gihimo, conduct. So what will you do? Probably you can make the reward system closely tied to the individual or team performance. Probably na tension ka di sila close. Dapat mag-promote ka og camaraderie, teamwork. So make the reward system closely tied to the individual or team performance. Number two, set challenging goals with employees so that those with achievement drives can experience the opportunity for satisfaction through their accomplishment. So you need to set those goals to some of those employees na naay achievement drive para mas i-inline yun nimo always ang imuhang motivational na mga program sa ilahang individual siguro nga goals or drive. Third would be define clear role expectations so that employees struggling with ambiguity can overcome that concern. So if possible, you need to define their role expectation, their job description para di ko sila maglibog, mag-struggle nga. Abi ko ba kanira ako ang job description, ganun nahimo na ko janitor, o di ba? Kay tungod kay Vagra siguro kaya imong gihimo nga description. Di sila kabaloon sa gyud ang ilahang dapat. So fourth, refrain from attacking the employee's attitude. Use active listening skills instead because an undefended attitude is more receptive to change. So di pud ka ma-personal. Pagkabalo nimo nga ala, di siya ganan sa imong management. Na personal na noon ka. Di ba? Labo ng survey kay good as moral na siya og guide for you to make decisions. Moral na nung kag nasakitan. Yeah, so if possible, you need to refrain from attacking them personally, their attitude personally. Okay. But hindi ay, katulad po to siya nga time, nagsakit yang gibati na timingan na gyud. So if possible, use active listening skill, maminaw ka sa ilaha kay, lisod pud kayo mo approach, okay, if naamoy tension miss personally, dili siya professional. So fifth would be provide frequent feedback to satisfy the need for information about performance level. So always provide feedback to them nga, okay, you are doing great. Tsadang imuhang performance for today and so on and so forth. Para at least ma-motivate po sila. Sixth would be exhibit a caring, considerate orientation by showing concern for employee feelings. So you should be warm as a person, especially if manager ka. You need to be considerate sa ilahang concern para imong at least para bitaw ma-change pud gamay lang attitudes towards you. You should know, learn how to be a warm person in which kanang open ang imong arms and ears for them whenever they need. So seven, provide opportunities for employees to participate in decision making. So if possible, mas gaani mo sila og outlet or avenue to which they can express more their feelings, their thoughts, their intentions, their recommendations siguro for the government. Ay, for the government, for the organization. Eight would be show appreciation for appropriate effort and citizenship behavior. So appreciate, recognize if there are employees who really follow and make an effort when it comes to being professional at work. So I guess that's it. So we just talk about some guidelines on how to change employee attitude, the issues that you need to consider when it comes to making surveys, its reliability and validity, the types of questions. It could be closed-ended or open-ended. Um, how to do a survey and to do follow-up, its benefits, and yeah, so on and so forth. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me anytime. So I'll be ending up with this quote. The best way to appreciate your job is to imagine yourself without one. So, I heard daw ka maka-appreciate kung wala na. Charot. So, ay naghulat nga mawala. Appreciate now while it's still there. Appreciate the small things. So, I guess that's it. If you have any questions or clarifications, please feel free to message me anytime. That's it. Goodbye and thank you, everyone.